issues, for lack of a better term, and so the state agreed to permit them to call this witness out of order. So at this point, they're going to call their witness, and then we'll go back to our case.
All right. You can do
It's just
that.
an ACC PD officer who's off shift.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get him in so he can get back to work tonight. Officer Charlie Krischer.
While that's happening, and just to make sure it's clear on the record, I need to go over with your client his right to testify or not testify, but if you agree for me to delay that until the state's case is done, just want to make sure that I had that opportunity.
Yes, sir. I
this
think
point.
that it would be helpful to do that after lunch, I believe, once the state rests, and that'll give us an opportunity to speak with Mr. Ibarra one last time. If you would please, Officer Krischer, raise your right hand. Do you swear in the matter before this court to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Have a seat. If you could, just state your name and spell it for the record.
Yeah, my first name is Charlie, Charlie. Last name Krischer, Krischer.
Okay. Officer Krischer, I'd just like to direct your attention to February 23rd of this year. You're who do you work for?
I work for the Athens Police Department.
Okay. And were you working that day?
Yes.
All right. What were you doing that day? If you could just tell the court what it was, what your role in this investigation was.
So on that day, I was working my normal shift, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was called on scene in reference to translation because the suspects were Spanish speaking only. My first language is Spanish, so I was called on scene. But it looks like the University of Georgia had their officers already there conducting interviews. So my supervisor just told me, go on the east side of the apartment complex, walk around, see if you see anything, and call it in, and we go from there.
Okay. And so just if I clarify, your role was to just kind of patrol and do police work, look for
Correct.
anything suspicious.
Correct.
All right. Did you, in your search around that apartment building, did you ever find anything that you thought was suspicious?
Yeah, by the trees where there's like a path where people can walk in. Behind there's a stop bus in that area. Behind it there's like some trees. I found a pile of clothing. It seems like it's been there for quite some time. It was wet, so I call it in, and University of Georgia officers arrive and collect those items.
Okay. Did you make a report about finding that pile of clothes, or was your role to just call that in to the officers?
Correct. My role was just to call it in and to the officers.
Okay. Do you remember who those officers were that you called that into?
No, I do not.
Okay. And again, just to clarify, you thought something was suspicious, and it was this pile of clothes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do you know what was included in that pile of clothes?
I don't. All I know is there was a pile of clothes in there. I didn't touch it, didn't process it or anything.
Okay. Did you have any further role in any of this investigation?
Regarding to the clothes? Or?
No, just in general. Did you transport anyone for?
Yes, I did transport Diego Ibarra
Okay.
to our East Precinct.
All right. And you did make a report about that because did you collect some of his clothes?
That's correct.
Okay. And was part of that collection, was there a hat that
That's
you
correct.
collected?
Yes.
Could you describe that hat, please?
It was a black Adidas hat. It had the logo, the normal logo, called white color.
Okay. And was he wearing that at the time that you collected it?
When I arrived and when I arrested him, he had it on his side, like he put it on the side of the window with his backpack.
Okay. Was he ever wearing it when you saw him?
No, to my recollection.
Okay. When you arrested him, did he say that it was his?
Yes, he said that it was part of his belongings.
Okay. And that's why you took it?
Yes.
All right. That's all the question I have, Judge.
Good afternoon, or morning. You first told us that the clothes have been there for quite some time. What did you observe that made you think that?
It was wet and it had a lot of debris on top, like a lot of gravel, stuff like that, and it seemed very tarnished.
And you did call the University of Georgia Police Department, they responded and collected the clothes?
That's correct.
And you just said when you transported Diego Ibarra, did he tell you that was his hat, or did he say that's part of my belongings?
That's part of my belongings.
Meaning of all the stuff that he had on him that day, that was
Correct.
his, right?
Correct.
Did he say it was exclusively his hat?
No, I did not ask any more questions. I just asked, hey, is this part of your stuff? And he said yes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Nothing further.
Any
Witness can be
excuse?
excused from our evidence.
Any objection to him being